Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Kissinger and this is 5th grade math module 3 review lesson 5. Today we're going to learn how to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. Remember, fractions must have a common denominator before we can subtract them. So let's look at this problem, 2/3 minus 1/3. When we have like denominators, we don't need to find a common denominator because we already have one. So all we need to do is subtract our numerators, and we have 2/3 minus 1/3. Well, 2 minus 1 is 1, and our denominator stays the same. So we have 1/3. Now, 1/2 minus 1/3, we'll have to find a common denominator. So what we did in the past is we drew a picture here where we would have 1/2 minus 1/3, and we have to find a common denominator. And the way we do that is we would break them both into, well, we could break them both into sixths. So I'll make this one, break each of my halves into thirds to make sixths. Break my thirds in half here to make sixths. As you see, we'll end up with 1/2 is really 3/6, and 1/3 is really 2/6. So 3 minus 2 is 1. And if we cross out, we're taking away 2 of these, we'll end up with just 1/6 left. So let's review our steps for subtracting fractions. It's going to be really similar to our steps for adding fractions, but we're going to change one thing. So we're going to still start with finding the lowest common denominator. So find the lowest common denominator, LCD. Next, we're going to rename the fractions with that common denominator in each fraction. Next, we need to add the numerators. Actually, we are going to, this is where it's going to change. We're going to subtract our numerators. That's the only step that's going to be different. We're going to leave the denominator the same. And then we are going to reduce or simplify. So let's practice doing a few of these. We have 4/5 minus 1/10. And we're going to move away from using the models, and we are just going to find our common denominators and then subtract our numerators. So 4/5 and minus 1/10. To turn fifths into tenths, I would need to multiply 5 times 2, and that means I have to multiply my numerator. I have to multiply 4 times 2, which is going to give me 8/10. So 4/5 equals 8/10. Now I can subtract 1/10 from 8/10. And I'm going to end up with 7/10. Next, I have 3/8 minus 1/4. Well, I have to turn fourths into eighths. 1/4, I can do times 2 times 2, and I'll get 2/8. So 1/4 is the same as 2/8. Those fractions are equivalent. Now I can do 3/8 minus 1/4, which is really 2/8. Now I get 1/8. Two-thirds minus 1/6. Well, my common denominator is 6, because 3 times 2 is 6. I can see that quickly. 2/3. Well, if I multiply both my numerator and my denominator by 2, I will get 4/6. 4/6. 4/6 minus 1/6 equals 3/6. 3/6 can be reduced. I can divide both the top and the bottom by 3, my numerator and my denominator, and I'll end up with 1/2. So that one would be 3/6 or 1/2. Number 4 is 1/4 minus 1/6. So I can't just multiply 4 by something to get 6. So I'm going to need to find a common denominator. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to make a fact tree for 4s and for 6s. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. We'll stop there. If we need to go further, we will. For 6s, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, but it looks like our lowest common denominator will be 12. So now when I look at my two fractions, what can I multiply 4 by to get 12? 4 times what equals 12? Well, that'll be 4 times 3. 1, 2, 3. So I need to multiply both my numerator and my denominator by 3. And I'm going to get 3/12. And then for my 6s, I need to multiply 6 times 2 to get 12. So I need to multiply my numerator by 2. So 1/6 is 2/12. So now I have 3/12 minus 2/12. And since I have like denominators, I can just subtract my numerator. And 3 minus 2 is 1. I get 1/12. When one denominator is not a factor of another, we have to find a common denominator. All right, so next we have 5/6 minus 2/3. So 6 is a multiple of 3. So we can just multiply 2/3. 1 numerator times and our denominator times 2, and we'll get 4/6, 5/6 minus 4/6 equals 1/6. Number 6, we have 7 and 14 for our denominators. 6/7 minus 1/14. 6/7 times 2 times 2, and we'll get 12/14. 12/14 minus 1/14 equals 11/14. All right, so now we have one where we're going to have to make a fact tree here because we have 5/7 minus 1/2. I can't multiply 2 by anything to get 7, so I'll need to multiply both of them by something. My fact tree with 7s, I'll do 7, 14, 21, 28, and then my 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There's one. So I have 14 here will be my common denominator. We'll have to multiply 7 by 2 to get 14. So if I multiply 7 by 2 and I multiply 5 by 2, that'll be 10/14 minus 2 times 7 is 14. So it's going to be 7/14. This will give us 3. 10 minus 7 is 3/14. Next we have 4/5 minus 2/3. So 4/5, well, we'll take 5s and we'll do 5, 10, 15, 20. But I would have stopped right at 15 because I know 15 is a multiple of 3. I can do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 is my common denominator. I have to multiply both 5 and 4 by 3 because 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 3 is 12. So 12/15 minus 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10. 10/15. If I did 12 minus 10, I get 2. And then my denominator stays the same, 2/15. Let's skip down here to number 11. Number 11 says write an equation that would result in a difference of 5/8. So I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to use addition because I know addition is the inverse um, of multiplication or multiplication or subtraction. So if I do 5/8 plus, let's say 3/8 equals Now let's keep it under 1 whole. Let's do 2/8. 5/8 plus 2/8. Give me 7/8. But I also know 2/8. This would be simplified to 1/4. So we can actually make one that has two different denominators. So 7/8 minus 1/4 would give us 5/8. So I'm going to write 7/8 minus 1/4 equals 5/8. There's my equation. So if I want to find an equation that would result in a difference of 5/8, I can first add, and then I'll use my inverse and go backwards to find my subtraction equation. So finally, number 12 says Michael was shown the number line below. Which point on the number line represents 7/8? Prove your answer. So where will 7/8 be on this number line? So this number line is split into fourths. I have 1/4, I have 1/2, it's 2/4, and I have 3/4, and then I have 1. So I need to split this number line into eighths. So between 0 and 1/4, I know I'll have 1/8 right here. Because 1/4 would be 2/8, 0 would be 0/8. So A right here looks like it will be 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. 1/2 is 4/8. 4 is half of 8. Right in between B and C here would be 5/8. 3/4 is equivalent to 6/8. Right in between 3/4 and 1 would be 7/8. And then 1 would be 8/8. And asks us where 7/8 is. Well, 7/8 will be right at point D, right here. And it wants us to prove our answer. We showed it on the number line, but 1, I have 1 here. I guess I could do 7/8 minus 1/8. It would give us 3/4. We can figure that out. So 7/8 minus 1/8 equals 6/8. And 6/8 would simplify to 3/4. So if I went from 3/4 and I went up 1/8, I would get to point D, which is 7/8. All right, so we're going to stop right there for now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time.